all rise for the pledge, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to the workshop of the Philipstown Town Board. We do have some business to take care of before we get into what most of you are here for this evening. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you're all here for South Mountain Pass and not our agenda. So I do appreciate you coming out this evening. It's not the best of evenings, but we'll hopefully get through some solutions for your road this evening. Okay, go ahead right into the agenda.
First is a resolution authorizing Supervisor Van Tassel to sign the filming permit for Doc in a Box Corps, project name Best Medicine, for filming scheduled for Wednesday, August 20th and Thursday, August 21st, 2025 from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. at the Manitou School, 1656 New York 9D, Cold Spring, New York, and this is Nunc ProTunc.
So this is the second round with these folks filming. So Tara, you have gone through the application. It is complete. So I get a motion to approve the filming permit for project name Best Medicine.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution authorizing the Town of Philipstown Justice Court to apply for a JCAP grant in the 2025-2026 grant cycle for up to $30,000.
So our court system has been very successful with getting these grants year after year. Our clerk, excuse me, our clerk, Annette Flaherty, has secured several in a row. So can I get a resolution authorizing the Town Justice Court to apply for a JCAP grant in the 2025 grant cycle?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution appointing Susan Kenney as the clerk to the supervisor at a salary not to exceed that set forth in the 2025 budget.
I think we should interview for this.
I mean, they can.
No, I'm happy that Sue will be continuing. She did take a brief retirement to just clear up her end of the financial situation. So she is cleared and to come back to work. She really only missed, I think, 2 days it was the shortest retirement in history, I think. So I don't know what the town of Philipstown would do without Susan Kenney, actually. So can I get a motion of reappointing Susan Kenney as clerk to the supervisor?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Next is a resolution reappointing Brian Kenney as the assessor for the Town of Philipstown, whose term will begin October 1st, 2025 and end September 30th, 2031, and this is a roll call vote.
So Brian has worked for us for decades as our assessor. Does a job that really nobody wants to do. People are not always pleased with Brian, but he is a professional. He knows his job. I certainly support him to remain as our assessor for the next period that he's using. Can I get a motion to resolution reappointing Brian Kenney as assessor?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Cotter is not here. Councilman Flaherty.
Aye.
Councilman Angel is absent. Councilwoman Farrow.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you, Brian.
Next on the agenda is the discussion of South Mountain Pass road conditions.
So, thank you all for coming this evening. We did post it so you would all have an idea that what was going on this evening. I don't want to turn this into a debate about paving versus non-paving. Last year at our budget cycle, we did some rudimentary mathematics on the cost of maintaining a dirt road. Just to go back and to go over those, the paved roads versus dirt, the paved section of Winston, and this is a rough number, about $1.35 a linear foot to maintain. Eustis Road, we've spent 54 cents a foot. Avery, where it's paved, 15 cents a foot. Avery, where it's dirt, $10.78 per foot. Indian Brook, $2.24 per foot. And Old Albany Post Road is $7.84 per foot just to maintain. That does not include the cost of fuel or equipment replacement. That is strictly man hours, material, and the time for the maintenance on the road. If we pave, the cost per paving
would be paid for on these roads in 4.8 years. It pays for itself. So there is really no debate as to whether the cost of dirt is comparable to the cost of pavement. We have been through, we'll take questions and we'll open it up later. We have gone through every different type of item 4. We have tried every different type of grading. We've tried every different type of storm drain, and it all seems to fail. As you all know, if you live on South Mountain Pass, the highway crew, you guys are on a regular, first name basis with the highway crew. The people that lived on paved roads don't know who these guys are. So that discussion has been beaten. We have had people tell us that it's going to decrease their property value. It's ruining the beauty of the town of Philipstown. And then after, these are people that were opposed to paving. After we've paved these sections of road, I've been on the board for 16 years, my 16th year. I think we've paved about 1.5 miles of road out of 33 or 34 miles of dirt. We've paved about 1.5 miles. Not one person on these sections that were opposed to it are opposed to it currently. They've all come up to us and said, oh my God, there's no dust, there's no noise, it's not washing out, my car is not being destroyed. So I don't want to go down that road with the debate about paving versus non-paving. South Mountain Pass, and the reason I'm hosting this evening, and I'm happy that you're here, South Mountain Pass is certainly a unique road because of it connecting Route 9 to Route 9D. I don't need to tell any of you that live on the road, when there's an issue on the goat trail, that road is completely packed with traffic. Even when there's not an issue, there's people utilizing that road as a commuter route, which I agree is not acceptable for that road. We had one resident email us tonight suggesting we do a traffic study. I will look into the cost of a traffic study for South Mountain Pass, but my fear is that any traffic engineer that reviews that is going to say it's not adequate for 2 cars to pass. So there is 0 volume that's acceptable. Should we make it one way? So we beat around a bunch of different ideas, and I'm sure there's plenty of ideas in this room tonight. Myself and my deputy met with the highway superintendent and the town engineer. I had come up with the thought of making 2 cul-de-sacs, actually putting a gate somewhere in the middle of the road, the middle of the pass, which would eliminate any commuters attempting to go over the road. When we spoke with Ron Gaynor, our town engineer, we went out on the road, and I thought we were going to have pictures on the screen, but I guess we don't. We looked at the section between South Mountain Pass Spur and, what is the other road? I have the map here. Putnam Ridge. So his idea was we're going to stake out the road. So Beatty and Watson is going to come out, and we're going to stake out our right-of-way so we know exactly how much space we have in these areas. But the thought was to create a minimal cul-de-sac at the area of Putnam Ridge and another minimal cul-de-sac at the area of South Mountain Pass Spur. We would put 2 gates, one at each end. If you can follow me, so we're going to create basically a dead section between Putnam Ridge and South Mountain Pass Spur. There is not a single home on that section. The town of Philipstown would, when there's a snowstorm, we would make sure that section is passable. I did ask the chief of the fire department to be here, and I do see Derek. Thank you. Derek is our captain or president of Garrison Ambulance Corps. It would create a change for them, but we would provide both the fire department and the ambulance corps access to the gate, so the gate could be opened. Gates could be opened if they needed to pass through that section, because they both come from the route. Derek, you would come from Route 9, obviously. So both agencies, because of their location, would be coming from the Route 9 side, going in. The other discussion we had with the town engineer was you know, there is, I think it's a 700-foot, or he estimated around 700-foot section between the gates that would be closed. There is the potential, I don't know, we haven't gotten that far, there is a potential for a home to go in that section if it's privately owned. I don't know, we haven't gotten that deep into it yet. But if in fact a home were to be developed, that they would absolutely have to accept like a driveway right-of-way on that section that's closed. So here it is. So this, we would create a gate here, and we would put a gate here. So this section, where, as you can see, there's no homes, would be closed to normal traffic. The other two agencies that I haven't gotten in touch with yet would be the Postal Service and the Garrison School, whether, you know, I don't know the way their bus routes go through, but that's where we are right now. It's very preliminary, but I think it creates a safe environment for the residents of the road. It's certainly going to create some inconvenience. If you live somewhere near South Mountain Pass Spur and you want to go to Route 9, it's going to take you a longer time to get there. And vice versa, if you're on the other side and you want to go to 9D, it's going to delay your trip. I don't know, other than that, what we can do. The section coming up the hill from Route 9 is constant maintenance. It's constantly being washed out. The day we were there, they were grading it, and I guarantee you, if we go there tonight, after the heavy rain we had today, there will be erosion. It's a financial disaster for the town. It's an environmental disaster for the town with the dust and the runoff. The runoff from a paved road, once it's cleaned, is clear. We have plenty of examples of how this worked. We have East Mountain Road North, which was done prior to me being on the town board, which is 16 years. It is still in is almost the same shape it was when it was originally paved. That road used to wash out worse than the west side of South Mountain Pass. It's steeper. And as you can see, that side of South Mountain Pass, we met a lot of resistance when we paved it. And I can remember the day after we paved it, we had a torrential downpour. The Route 9 side was completely obliterated, and that side was fine. And it always is fine. It's less maintenance on the vehicles that plow it. It's less chemicals because it holds the heat and melts off quicker. So our suggestion and our plan currently would be to pave the east side from where the pavement ends right to the intersection at Putnam Ridge. So with that said, I would open it up to the town board if you have any suggestions. And then we will certainly open it up to the public. That's what we're here for. But I would ask, so you can be on the tape, that you come to the microphone and state your name and just give us what you have to say. Anything from the board?
Well, I think I've heard during that terrible storm we had in July of last year, I know one person who was stuck on the road because of all the dirt and the flowing and the debris. And I think that its safety is really important for all of us in this town. And I think it's not only a financially responsible option, but environmentally and safety-wise, I think it's important for the town.
Thank you.
Yeah, environmental wise, as everyone knows, that runoff is killing all our streams. I live behind Clove Creek, and I used to be able to mow my lawn down there, and I lost almost half of my backyard over the last 10 years because of all this runoff. And I had Matt Garfin look at it, and he said it's all from the runoff from the dirt roads, so forth. So that's just Clove Creek. There's a lot of creeks, as everyone knows, waterways here in Philipstown. So it's detrimental to the streams. Financially doesn't make sense to go up, like you said. These dirt roads, steep sections, we're not looking to pave every single dirt road. We're just looking to pave and do the right thing in the bad areas where we can constantly go on our highway crews there every other day when it rains. I was up there the other day with Mr. Van Tassel, our supervisor, and Ron and the highway crew, and they do a great job there. They spent hours and hours there, and like John said, if it rains a lot tonight, all that work is for naught. And it's very hard to maintain these dirt roads, especially on the steep slopes. Flat areas, there's nothing the matter with flat areas on the dirt roads, but when it comes to steep slopes, it's just not ideal. And South Mountain Pass, as everyone knows, it's very, very narrow around a lot of those turns. Very bad.
So before I open it up, there will be, like I said, Beatty and Watson will be coming out there to stake out the right-of-way that the town of Philipstown has. We already have a drainage plan that was generated, I believe it was 8 or 10 years ago. It's a shovel-ready plan, whether it's still usable on this, the way we're looking at it, which I don't see any reason why there wouldn't be. But, my hope would be that we could get this done pretty quickly so we could stabilize the road and eliminate the traffic problem. So with that, I'll open it up. Go ahead. You can just come right up to the microphone.
Hi, Teresa Orlandi, Copper Mine Road off of South Mountain Pass. Y'all probably recognize me from the 10 years ago when I was really
yes, I do.
anti-paving. I would say I'm not a fan of the paving. That's well established. Couple of questions.
Sure.
With these gates, how do these gates work? Will residents have like
No.
a card?
No, it will not be accessible for the residents. It's, the opening of the gates would be strictly for the emergency services and the highway crew.
So my commute's going to increase by about 15 minutes.
Yes, as I said earlier.
To work.
People will be inconvenienced by.
Tremendously so.
This is just an idea floating out right now. It's not to say we're gonna be going and doing this tomorrow. This is just something we're thinking
We're
about.
trying to balance out, risk versus benefit and inconvenience versus benefit. We will be paving the side towards Route 9. We don't want to see it increase your traffic
It
because of the fact,
Yeah.
what's that?
It will.
Well, that's why we've come up with this,
Right.
with this idea.
So what about enforcement of the local traffic rule? I've never seen any enforcement of that, ever. It's been 18 years.
Right. As you well know, people don't abide by traffic laws. If we
Yeah,
put a
sure.
15 mile per hour speed limit on that road, nobody would follow it.
But what if you had someone there saying, someone stationed there
We,
checking?
I mean, the town of Philipstown can't afford to pay a police officer to sit there and give out tickets. We have asked them to enforce stuff, and 9 times out of 10, when we ask we ask the agencies to come out and enforce traffic laws on local rules, on local roads, it ends up that the residents get the tickets. So, and we've seen it time. Residents.
That lives off of South Mountain Pass. They would get a ticket, even though
Right.
they're
Well,
local?
most likely, there are people that are going faster,
It's
exceeding the speed limit.
the speed limit,
Oh,
when we've
I
asked the police department to enforce, we did it on Eustis Road, because there was a complaint of speeding. We had the sheriff's department sit there, gave out tickets all day long. It was the residents on the road that got the tickets.
I'd be the first to get a ticket. I get that for speed, but I'm talking about just enforcement of the local only.
Right,
right?
the local
That
limit,
part.
it says it currently that it's closed. Whether that's legal or not to tell,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
to tell
question
somebody
that.
else
Right,
from
they
the town of
can't use it.
Philipstown, they
Yeah.
can't drive on that
Right.
road, it's
Okay.
not a private road, so.
What about temporary speed humps to slow people down?
There was the consideration of speed humps. The speed limit would have to be reduced to 15 miles per hour. We would still have to pave it, and then there would be the issue of plowing, which it makes very
Right,
difficult.
but there are temporary speed humps.
No, we can't put
Yeah.
speed bumps. We need to put, speed bumps are not permissible
Okay.
on municipal roads. You have to do what's called a speed bump. If you've ever gone up to the, well, I go to Sloop, which is up in Fishkill. There's a road back there that they have an issue with speeding. It's a town road, but they have these giant humps that they put in the road, which become very difficult to plow and to maintain, so.
Okay. I mean, turning the road into one-way only for certain residents, I mean, that seems to me like that's a completely unsatisfactory outcome. Like, there's got to be something,
Well, if you have a better idea, that's what we're here for.
I mean, I've thrown some ideas out there about enforcing local traffic.
One at a time.
Anyway, all right, so, I mean, listen, I came here knowing that the outcome was going to be paving, just assumed.
We're not paving the whole
Like,
road, by no means.
I
It's-
think from the Cortland side all the way to Putnam Ridge, is way too much. You could be much more selective.
Well, I appreciate your opinion,
Absolutely.
but that's
Especially
not
someone
the,
who drives on this road too, sometimes 4 times a day, every day. I could tell you exactly the places that wash out, and you don't have to do a straight run. And I can tell you on the 9D side, that side, the drainage is not satisfactory in the winter because it's a glacial sheet. When it is snowy or icy or freezing rain, literally a glacial
but
sheet.
is the road there after a storm?
Yeah, the road is there,
Right,
but
that was
it's
the key.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's
Well,
there's black ice,
every road's dangerous
but
when it's
also
ice.
then there's an accumulation because of the drainage not actually meeting its needs. So like, I would say that, yeah, the road is still there, but it's not always safe, right?
Right, and that's true for every road in New York
That's true
State
for
during the
every road.
ice storm.
You're right,
but
you're right,
we-
but-
We do our very best to make sure it's maintained.
Well, carry on.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yes?
I live on 56 with the horses on the corner. Carl Dushin, fourth
If you could
time.
speak into the mic.
I am speaking into the mic. So let's bring up the ice, all right? In late March. This is well after any plowing's going on. We had a rain on a Saturday night. The town is out to lunch, they're not out salting. 9D was salted. I didn't get salted over on Bridget's, on the paved part. There was about a 70-foot section of ice. I've never bought a car, and I've never sold a motorcycle. I ride year-round. I had to go through the glare ice on 2 wheels, and the dirt absorbs water. If there's ice, there's sand mixed in with it. You also don't have to spread toxic salt. It's just dirt you spread for dirt. From what I've talked to the guys, they don't put salt on the dirt. They put
No,
dirt.
It's a mixture of salt and sand.
Okay.
But yes, it's
All right.
it's still salt.
So then at the last time, there was an issue with measuring how wide you make these choke points with the curbs on each side. Now, just before the road coming up from 9D, near the end, the last turn there, it's 9 feet from curb to curb, 9 feet. It went from 36 feet down by the plains on that end to 9 with curbs. You're exacerbating the narrowness when you put curbs in and
Well, I doubt there's 18 feet of shoulder outside either of those curbs, and I'm just doing the math quickly, but.
No, I'm saying
But we, like I said
compare it to
earlier,
another
hold on.
section.
Like I said earlier, we are going to stake out the right-of-way, and we will try to occupy as much of the right-of-way as we possibly.
What does that mean?
The Town of Philipstown right-of-way of South Mountain Pass. And where people have encroached on it, we will be pushing back. We want people to see exactly the width of the right-of-way that the town has. There's many narrow sections that we feel has been encroached. There are, obviously, on one side where you're speaking, it drops right off, and on the other side, there is a rock ledge. So that's why the curbs are where they are. We didn't select to make a pinch point.
If you go to the Fruit Town parking lot, right? That's for one car to park, right?
Yeah.
Those lines are 11 feet wide
Okay, thank you.
to park. So, and this is 9 feet for
So, I
vehicles
mean,
to pass.
we could blast it out and make it wider if you'd like, but I don't think that's what you're leaning towards, Carl. I'm not
Are
getting your
you,
point.
are you planning on putting curbs from all the way up?
We
There's,
probably will to maintain the shoulder, yes. We haven't gotten to the design phase yet, but we will be.
and will there be a crown? The last work that they did on this past, the road is held up amazing. We had a full inch of rain last week. There was absolutely no damage on the Paul Mayen first corner on the Route 9 side. the crown, Russell makes a big deal, it tells us more crown, no kings, more crown. That's his phrase. So, and it really worked. And the rain today, it'll be impervious. They won't have to come if they put a crown and
At the beginning, Carl, I said, we're not going to debate the grading, the material. That's not what we're here for. We've been through it a million times. You've been here before us a million times. I've heard this story. It doesn't work. No matter what we had a section on South Mountain Pass going back 10 or 12 years. We had an engineer come in from the Old Road Society, told us exactly the prescription, exactly the crown, everything we should do for that section of road. We did it, and it was washed out.
all right, so I had no choice but to go over glaciers, to go anywhere. I have to go over glaciers.
That's a choice you're making. Yes. Thank you.
Russell Dushin. Hi, how are you, my friend? I own a home at 188 South Mountain Pass, just below Putnam Ridge. First thing I'd like to say is I think I've heard you say 3 or 4 times now that you plan to pave South Mountain Pass from Putnam Ridge to the county line.
Correct.
But you don't want to talk about it, okay? You won't let us talk about it.
No,
Now,
no,
that's basically what you have said. You
Okay.
don't want to debate
I'm not
paving
getting
South
in an
Mountain
argument
Pass,
with
but
you,
you're telling
Carl.
us it's being done, okay?
This will end.
That's the bottom line.
This will end
So,
really quickly.
here is my request.
This will end really quickly. I'll tell you right now. This will end very fast, okay? I opened this up for ideas for controlling the traffic. We are not debating whether
Fine.
we're paving or not.
I do want to say
Yes.
one thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Adam and his team did a fantastic job
Great.
the last time they have taken care of this road. There is more crown on that road right now than there has been in my adult life. And I'm 65 years old. And I've been coming to these meetings for well over 30 years, mostly in support of dirt roads. Okay? There is more crown on that road than there has been in a long time. And I invite all of you to drive that road tomorrow and see how well it held up. Okay? The crown is completely lacking between my house and the long stretch. So from 188 to 144, that road is going to wash out in no time. The rest of the road has held up remarkably well. Next thing I would like to talk about is your choice for where to put the gate. Okay? And I will also question why the gate has to be permanent. Maybe the gate could be timed so that when the goat path closes, that road closes. People would get the message if that road were occasionally closed. They wouldn't do what they do today. So why should it be between South Mountain Pass Spur and Putnam Ridge? I guess maybe you think there's a fair swath of land there. Well, some of it's mine, okay? And on my property, I do have a 10-foot right-of-way between where the road and my property start and into my property, but that right-of-way doesn't run to the town. That right-of-way runs to utility companies, okay? So any property that you take for your cul-de-sac is likely going to be taken from people.
We're not taking any property, Carl. That's why.
I don't know how you put in a turnaround if you don't.
Well, that's what we're exploring currently. I'm not sure what the right-of-way is. I'm
So
assuming it's
why,
quite.
if you do plan to put up a gate, why not poll the residents of South Mountain Pass to find out which way they typically go? We heard from a woman here who lives on Coppermine who apparently commutes to the Peekskill train station. I'm sure there's lots of people on Coppermine
I'm sure
who
there
commute
are.
to Peekskill. They will be seriously inconvenienced by that.
I'm sure they are.
If you went further down the road, you might find people that drive to Cold Spring all the time. Maybe that could help you figure out where the road,
That's why
where
we're
the
here.
road gate could be. Maybe it's at the AT, right? There's property there that maybe the town could take without having to inconvenience residences, right? Thirdly, if you are paving the road, I would like to know whether there will be detailed drainage engineering studies done.
I think
I have seen, and you have heard tonight, some of the lack of attention to drainage that was done on the west side of South Mountain Pass. I've got a lot of property that gets drainage straight off the road. I've had the highway department come and cut new drains right onto my property that pour water onto my driveway and wash my driveway out. I want to know where the drains are going to be.
We
Okay,
have,
and I presume you will publish this ahead of time. All right, last thing I want to say is there are some houses on South Mountain Pass whose septic system runs under the road, as well as some properties who have water pipes that run under the road. So will people be given fair notice to perhaps upgrade those systems before the road is paved?
Well, I would certainly like to know if whose septic is draining onto the road.
It's all a matter of public record.
And then, well, we have no record of that. That
Oh,
would be-
sure, it's a matter of public record. You can look it up.
I'm not looking it up, but I'm saying if you are aware of somebody's septic dumping on the road.
I didn't say
you should-
dumping on the road, I said whose septic pipes run under the road, whose septic systems are on the opposite side of the road from their
that's
homes. You're
not-
probably not aware of that, but you should be. And
I
you should
should
also
be.
be aware that there are water pipes that run
I
under
should be
that
aware
road.
of everybody's septic system in the town of Philipstown? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that before you pave the road, you should be aware of what the consequences are for the residents of the
We have an engineer that has
roads.
designed the drainage system.
If you're using,
Okay, if you're gonna keep talking, then I'm not gonna bother.
if you're using Beatty and Watson, he should be able to help you out.
Well, yeah, I did say
Okay.
that at the beginning of the meeting, that Beatty and Watson is staking out our roadway and our right.
Only for the turnaround. If he uses
No,
it for the
you-
entire
no,
road,
you-
he would have that information for you.
You're putting words in my mouth, and I did not say that. I said they're going to stake out our right-of-way, is what I said at the
You
beginning.
said it in the context of where the turnarounds would be, so
No,
I'm
I
sorry
did
if
not.
I
I
misinterpreted
said
what you
we
said.
are
My
Okay.
interpretation
You have anything
was
else,
that it was
Carl?
up
You have
top.
anything else to add? If not, you can sit. Thank you. Anything else?
Not tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anyone else? Yes, Katie.
Hi, Katie Cucciarella. I live on 238 South Mountain Pass. Thank you Supervisor Van Tassel and the rest of the town board for allowing us to have this open discussion. I wanted to bring up that it's possible that the town board look into reaching out to Google Maps and Waze to possibly put in restrictions. I know other towns have done this, so that during those rush hour times that possibly these people who are trying to avoid when there's an accident on the goat pass or somewhere else, their GPS is leading them through our road. So you may want to possibly look into that as a possible remedy to slow down some of the traffic. In terms of the gates that you're proposing to put in, hypothetically, it sounds great. However, where one of the gates would be, we're right by South Mountain Spur. My husband travels and commutes, drives into the city every day, and it would greatly impact his commute. Yeah, so if there's, I know you're just exploring it, so I'm just throwing it out there. If there's ways to think about those type of residents that maybe, Russell was saying, maybe there's access that the residents can have, especially the commuters that live on the
We actually
road.
kicked that idea around of saying, look, even if we just put signs at the end that say dead end, could we just do that?
Right.
And theoretically lie to the public. And
Right.
of course, there's repercussions to all of it. There's also, and then I said, well, what if we just put the gates there? The residents know that we were just considering one gate at that. The residents know, just push it open, drive through and close it. Then there's the liability if somebody gets hurt trying to open it or close it. There's somebody leaves the gate open, then people are driving through. We looked at the last time we paved, that came up, you need to reach out to Waze. But there's several different agencies that provide these mapping systems, and it all feeds through. Putnam Valley did do it, and they were successful on a road, so I will reach out to the supervisor.
And I'm happy to provide you with some of that information.
That would be wonderful. I'd appreciate it.
I'll definitely do that.
Absolutely.
And even if it's just the restrictions during that rush hour, morning and afternoon commute, and I do think, because once they discover it, they're just going to
Well, that was
continue.
my thought too, that once people realize that this road is closed,
Right,
that it would, like you said, people are gonna be like, okay, I can't get through there anymore. I'm gonna take 403, or I'm gonna wait till 202 opens. That would take some time, and we would have to be inconvenienced for a little while to reap the benefit of, people being aware of the fact that I can't get through here. Well, the day we were there, a huge truck came through, and I'm like, where is this guy? But, he was making delivery to South Mountain Pass Spur. So there are legitimate uses, and again, it's gonna create an inconvenience. But other than this, I can't think of it. I mean, and we can certainly reach out to the communication.
I have your email. I'll send you what I have on that,
Please.
because I think that would be a good start.
Yeah.
And I just also want to, for the record, say that I've never been against targeted paving, so
Right.
I understand where you guys are coming
you.
from with that.
Thank you.
And the highway department always does a fantastic job, so I get that, but let's try to maybe, before we throw up these gates
Yeah.
or finalize that plan,
Yeah.
let's look into other solutions.
Again, it's just preliminary.
Yes.
And, we've spent time, we are gonna invest some time and some money. The other concern I have with doing this, it's gonna establish a precedent for other roads. I mean, I can't think, I drive the community all the time, and I can't think of any other road that would have the potential to be a commuter route as bad as this is. I mean, the argument was made with East Mountain that people were gonna take East Mountain over to Hopewell or to East Fishkill to get on 84. I mean, I haven't seen it, and we did pave it, we paved the section and connected it. We're gonna pave another section which continuously washes out. But other than East Mountain, I can't think of another road in the community that has the potential to become a
I
commuter
don't think it's
route.
the paving that really, I mean, maybe some drivers, but it's the fact that their GPSs are bringing them onto our
Sure,
road.
sure,
And
sure.
it's when the goat trail is closed, every time there's an accident somewhere, people are
Oh.
cutting through. And I live in that section where, it's flat, and I
And
can
they
look out
fly.
my window, and I'm just watching these people just
Yeah.
fly, and it's scary. We have dogs, we have kids, and,
It happens on-
so we
right,
have
when-
to figure out a way to stop them from coming on the road.
Exactly. When Route 9 closes, trucks go up over East Mountain South and Esselborn, and and it's not, their GPS is telling them, go that way. And, for the locals know, but these trucks are, and we've had instances where there's two trucks literally stuck against each other on Esselborn, so it happens. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Sheila Williams, South Mountain Pass on the 9D side.
Right.
Ours was half paved and then got paved on that bottom side, and it has made a night and day difference for us, seeing the bus come around the hill, my kids being, moving around down there, even our car coming down the hill, night and day difference. And the drainage has made a huge difference, I think, in our side completely. As far as the closing off the roads with the gates, I'm with Katie. I don't love the idea. For them, they would be on one side, and Alex's parents would be
Right,
on the
they're-
other side of the
We're
gate.
kind of at the
I don't even know how you would do that. You're like, wait a minute, that's good. But I do, Mr. Dushin, one of them, I think came up, or had a suggestion that if, the GO pass is closed, we know what's gonna happen, the gate open or closes. I do think that's an idea to maybe think about, I don't know if that's how that would work, but.
Which resident wants to open and close the gate?
Yeah, I know. That would be the other issue. I don't even know if that's possible or not, but
Because, I mean, we have
Yeah.
limited manpower, we have 78 miles of
Yeah.
road to maintain.
you know
can't
what?
assign-
I would be willing to bet somebody might volunteer if it meant that we could not always have the road
But
blocked both
then
ways.
you're gonna get this, if it only closes when there is an issue.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna know that. They're gonna come up there and come to a dead-end gate.
That's true.
That,
And then they gotta turn around and go back.
I mean, I don't know if this is an, ignorant question, but are like stop signs an option, or we just assume everyone's just
I'm
gonna be
sorry,
running them?
is there what?
Stop signs? Is that even an option? Like, is that something that,
Do you mean just create?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would, if we're worried about, if they're paving another portion, people going too fast on it, would that help at all? If speed bumps aren't an option.
I mean, we've had this argument on other roads. If you pave it, people are gonna drive faster. We haven't seen that. We connected
I
East.
drive slower on the paved portion, but
Well, good, I'm happy you drive. We connected East Mountain South to East Mountain North with pavement. There was one section that wasn't paved, and we had endless complaints that we were going to get speeding and accidents and death and carnage. It hasn't happened, knock wood. But we have not seen an increase in speeding. We haven't seen any accidents, but
The accidents I've seen or the issues that I've had on the road are only on the unpaved portion.
yeah, I agree.
Anyways, thank you. And
Thank
thank you for holding this meeting.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Sandy?
I think we should, before we start talking about accommodations for cars, I think we should think about what we like about this town. Historic, rural, and welcoming. Every day on Old Albany Post Road, there are literally a dozen people walking their dogs, riding their bikes, or just walking to enjoy the country. One of our wealthiest citizens, who's had a significant input to the town, is Chris Davis. When he bought Soldier's Fortune, he had the Old Albany Post Road unpaved for about a mile from Travis Corners to Saunders Farm. The statistics in Putnam Valley, which is mostly paved, is they pay too much in taxes, and they are lucky if they survive a couple of years of driving on the high-speed paved roads. The reason we think that one of our most historic roads is the Old Albany Post Road is that the older roads, the more historic roads, are the east-west roads. South Mountain Pass, Phillips Brook, Indian Brook, etc., Lane Gate. They're all older by far than the Old Albany Post Road, which was put in by one of the geniuses of the founding of this nation, Ben Franklin, who, under his tenure as Postmaster General for the Crown, noticed that they didn't deliver the mail in the winter because the river was frozen and the sloops couldn't go up and down. So he tied together all the east-west roads, boom, 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 and created the very historic and very scenic and very useful Old Albany Post Road. You are well equipped, very well equipped, with the heavy-duty grader that could do the entire length of all the unpaved roads in a day or two if it just take it out and run it.
We have three.
And
That continuously
and
grades.
sometimes you have to buy a little more item 4 and things like that. But the main thing is that it's walkable, it's safe, it's affordable, and it's the reason people have come to live in Garrison and Philipstown. We have some history, which is kind of modern version of history. Boscobel is a good deal younger than I. The Bird and Bottle is a good deal older than I. So,
Probably close.
but not much. But in any event, I think we should be doing as Chris Davis did. We should be unpaving. We should be letting our grader do its work. We should let the roads be accommodating for everything but cars. Cars you know, now we're fascinated with not going to stores. We used to have Glicks and everything else, and Cold Spring Lumber, and so many wonderful things in Cold Spring. Now we have Amazon and UPS and FedEx and everybody, because, I don't know, because the stores couldn't compete with the big boxes. But they could happily have competed with the big boxes, because, I mean, Flossie at Cold Spring Lumber could do an item list of 20 or 30 items and do it all in her head and tell you what the total was. It was fantastic. Anyway, there's so much better to be done by doing it the way we know how to do it, and not imitate something that we really don't know how to do. We don't know how to make a paved road safe at 80 miles an hour. I don't think we know much about why those east-west roads were built. They were all built for a function. South Mountain Pass, copper mine. Phillips Brook Road, farming. Indian Brook Road, iron mines.
Indian Brook is not
You know,
old because it was
so
completely
anyway,
replaced.
it's the roads were built for a function, and the function should not be just how fast can you drive a car.
Appreciate
I
it.
don't recommend it. I recommend strongly that we look at every historic aspect of this wonderful town, and that we keep the roads as in the master plan, keep the roads accessible, useful, and safe.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, Cindy.
There's a lady
Yes.
right here who's had a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's, go ahead. Go ahead. You want, Joyce? Yeah. Please. Sorry. Thank you.
On High Ridge Road, the first house on High Ridge. I was very much opposed to paving our section. I will tell you that there is speeding every day, every day. People go much faster on that little section of road. It is very dangerous. If you're walking on the road, you can get hit by a car. I don't know who these people are. They're probably not people who live on the road, but there is speeding on my section of the road.
Okay, thank you.
Just wanted you to know that. Also, the drain that is on the corner of South Mountain Pass and High Ridge Road doesn't work. It's in the wrong place. When the water comes down from High Ridge Road, it doesn't go into the drain. And when the water comes down on South Mountain Pass, it doesn't go into the drain. Can somebody look into what's happening with that drain and why it was put where it is? Doesn't work.
I'm not completely familiar with it, but it could be a private drain on High Ridge as well, so, but we'll look into it.
Okay.
We will. Thank you.
But I just wanted you to know there is definitely speeding. And can we have more 15-mile-an-hour signs put on the road?
Sure.
That is, do we have to
If
get
that's,
that
I'm
cleared with
not,
the
you know what, I'm not
state, or-
100% sure what the speed limit is, but we will find out, and if it's posted already, we can certainly add more. Doesn't mean people are going to abide by it, but we can certainly add more speed limit. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Alex Cotrella. I'm the husband that commutes to the city every day that Katie mentioned. Yeah, just on the gate. It's hard to wrap my head around the reality of that. It really is. It'd be a major lifestyle, and you know, I think it was mentioned in the email that the condition of the road is affecting our lifestyle. That would really affect my lifestyle. And I think an old-fashioned gate with a manual lock. You know, there's gates in this world that are used, you know, with access control thousands of times daily by thousands of people. I think we could probably figure out a way to do that. It's a small group. It's a small group of people who are looking to use that gate.
At that point, does it become a private gated community? I don't know. I don't want to, are we setting a precedent that is going to create, a town-wide?
It's not the rest of the town's problem.
Yeah, but
It's our
The
problem.
rest of the town is paying for your road as well as our
Yeah.
road. So, and I'm not saying it's, but why, if I live on East Mountain, why should I let you drive on East Mountain? Why should I not, and I'm just using, why should I not be able to drive on South Mountain Path? I mean, it could be endless. That's why there's all types of scenarios here, and that's why we're here trying to figure through this. But, I don't know how we control the traffic other than there's been all different ideas of, a security but it's just not feasible for the town of Philipstown to do something
Yeah,
like that.
I think the gate is a big issue if we can't get through that gate. And I do think there are plenty of scenarios in this world that we can control the access, and I really ask you to look at that,
Yeah, we
because
can.
it's a monumental lifestyle shift for all of us here.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
My name's Michelle Clifton. I live on the spur.
Yes.
So this would affect us tremendously. And I actually, driving here, was chatting with my husband, and we drove someone. And because I love the signs that say that the road is closed. And I don't know if it was 20 years ago, but whenever it was, for a little while, a state trooper was there and then would stop people and ask where they were going, if they were going locally or not. I thought that was terrific periodically.
Yeah.
And on the way, though, I said, if we had a way of knowing, especially if the goat trail was closed, I would go down and with a sawhorse, that if there was a sawhorse across, I would put it across and I would stand there, because when it was closed recently and I was coming home, people were driving so fast, I could not even come. I stopped in the middle of the road and I didn't let anyone go. And I got out and I said, "Do you live on this road?" I said, "Do you?" And there was one woman that said, "If I had known this about this road, I would not have come here. GPS is what led me here." So I find your ingenuity of thinking of this, but I agree with other people that there is a way, and I don't see it a gated community. I see it that it's trying to maintain the dignity of the road.
Well, that's what we're looking to do.
Yes, and that, I'm willing to get out of my car and open a gate, and I will close it again.
I get that.
But-
and
but I
understand,
do-
but the liability that would
Well, no,
propose
but
to the
that- I
town.
agree, and sorry, I forgot your name. Alex, that's right. That there are ways that I even thought if everyone who lives on South Mountain Pass has one of those click things where you come and you click it and it opens and then will close behind you. It seems to me that it feels, if we have an emergency, and which we've had, my husband has Parkinson's, I've had to take him to the hospital. If I then have to go, it's 20 minutes around as opposed to going directly to 9. That's a lot of time.
I get it.
In an emergency situation. So I really want you to consider that.
That's
Thank you
what
very
we-
much.
Speaking of that, there is a closure coming, and it's New York State DOT emailed me, and I reached out to, I forget, New York State. There is a planned closure. I will post it. We have all your emails now, but there is a planned closure coming up. They're going to make, 202 is going to be one lane for one day for some culvert install. So there will be traffic. I have asked New York State DOT to provide state troopers at both ends of the road. the work that they're doing on 202 requires them to go to one lane. So they're going one lane, and then letting one lane, so I'm sure that we're gonna see. I can't find the email right now, but I did request that New York State DOT send a state trooper to both ends. Whether it'll be acknowledged and whether it'll happen is another story. Usually, when we find out that there's going to be a closure, we send the highway crew down, you'll see the horses placed in the road to close the road. But we can't leave somebody there all day to do it. Right, and I appreciate that offer, but you gotta understand, if, for somebody that closes Route 9, and Bobby will test it, but we close Route 9 when there's a car accident, the arguments we get in fire turnout gear with, and Fred, you could substantiate, you don't want to be standing in that road trying to tell people they can't go through, because you will get run over more than likely, so. Anybody else? Yes. How are you?
Thank you for the meeting. I just want to address a couple things that people already said about the gate. I really do think that us living there, if we could have access to it, would be great. And it wouldn't be a private road, because people, like your proposed 2 gates, would still make people have to drive on the road, but just not through. So people could still drive on the road, just not through. Only the people who live there could go through. So it wouldn't make it a private community. It would just, you know what I mean? They could still use the
We
road.
can certainly look into an automated gate. My feeling right now is it's going to be quite costly to install something like that.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean,
Well, considering there's no power and, there would be continuous maintenance, there would be ice, there's going to be, and plenty of people have these gates on their homes, and I've seen them work. I work in plenty of the houses and they do work, but do they work when there's, 50, 60 cars that just live on the road going through the road? So,
Right.
and then, we'd have to provide the remotes to the ambulance crew. We'd have to provide the remotes to the fire apparatus. So there would be, do we give it to the bus drivers? Do we give it to the postal service? Do we give it to Amazon? Where do we, I don't know. These are things, and we certainly can explore it. We can certainly look into it.
it would be a code maybe.
A
Maybe
code.
a code, I don't know. But the other thing I want to address, the speeding, with the paving, people speed whether it's paved or not paved. It's crazy, like whether it's paved, whether it's not paved. And around bends, that bend around the farm, Long Haul Farm, people rip around that corner.
If we have the
It's like
sheriff's department go out there and enforce the speed limit, you'll all be coming back to me saying, I got a ticket.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
not just, but the people who don't live there, it doesn't matter whether it's paved or not, they speed
I
on that
agree.
whole entire road, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, so is the paving the done deal from 9D to Putnam Ridge, you're saying that's?
More than like, we're working currently, we're going to have it staked out, so we know the right of way. There is drainage that has to be installed. We do have a plan ready for drainage. We're going to review it, and, the town engineer is going to review it, post the surveying, and then we're going to work at looking at paving.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Sheila Williams again. I just want to quickly say, the bus currently, and hopefully somebody can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but our bus comes off of 9D, turns onto Manitou Road, and then comes straight down the end.
Does not go.
It does
over.
not.
Katie, it
So
doesn't come up to you?
It only comes to our street, but everyone comes from the other side of the road down to where we are, at the other end.
So that gate, there's a gate in between, those people that live on the other end of the road.
Would have to go
Will
out
not
to
be able
Nunc.
to, yeah.
Gotcha.
And of course, it's
Yeah, that's something we still have to look at. We have not spoke to the school.
I just want to bring up that it was a superstorm that we had maybe a year ago. We had like this
July
superstorm.
9th was 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And my observation was that all of the paved roads, they were like jutting out of the ground, crazy. But all of the unpaved roads, you could go through if there wasn't a tree down. So in an emergency situation with all these superstorms that are coming up, I just want you to consider that pavement is wonderful when it's sunny out. But when it's icy and that one section of South Mountain Pass where you're going down the hill towards Route 9, it is. It's like, even if you're going 2 miles an hour, you're skidding down the road. And that's on unpaved road. When it's paved, it's even going to be worse with black ice.
Pavement is much easier for us to maintain. It does not wash out like the dirt roads. I don't recall the amount of damage that happened on the east end of South Mountain Pass in the July 9 storm, but even Route 9D was destroyed.
Yeah.
So that was, that's not something that we can plan to defend us against. I mean, because that was just an astronomical.
I understand, but they're getting worse and worse every year.
They are, and that's why
And the
we're
flooding and
we're
everything.
going towards the paving on
And
the
I'm
steep
just
side.
going off of what Michelle said, in emergency situations, you just need to consider, I mean, our road is one of the only ones that is closest to, the hospitals in Peekskill without going north, without going anywhere else. I know you're trying to consider everything, but
Right.
being dead set on paving might not be the solution. Just,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
and if we can think of anything to help you, we will.
I hope so.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, Steve. Oh, I'm sorry. Andy, you're next.
Hi, my name's Stacy Farley. I'm at 120 South Mountain Pass. And first of all, thank you for trying to solve this problem. I think everybody wants the road to be safe.
Right.
It's not safe now. I think we can agree on that. And I was just wondering if you've explored or could possibly explore the idea of some more technology. First of all, is it legal to ticket people if you have signs on both ends that say no through traffic, and then someone goes through? Can you ticket them?
That's something we could explore. I don't, there's so many, we can't even put no parking signs up unless we pass a local resolution saying there's no parking.
Right.
And even the most ridiculous locations, we have to make sure that we have a resolution, because although the town or the sheriff's department can give a ticket, they can't prosecute unless the law is on file. So if somebody fights it, they get out of it. But it's certainly like I said to Ron, why don't we just say it's a dead end? Why don't we put signs at both ends and say dead end? Let them come after us. I mean, you would all know that you could get through, but do people even read the signs?
I'm not sure they do, but they might respond to getting a ticket. And if in the city, you can get a ticket just by remotely, they take a picture of your
License plate.
Right, and it comes in the
Plate
mail and you
reader.
get a ticket.
Right.
And that might be, there might be some technology that could just take pictures of people's
Right, but then
cars.
we'd have to try to figure out, the bank would have to have, the residents of Philipstown who pay for the road should have the right to drive through it. Just because I don't live on that road, I should have, just like you can come and drive on my road. But then what do we put in the bank as to who can drive on the road and who can't? Anything out-of-state plate, obviously, but you may have a car with an out-of-state plate. And do you get a ticket?
We got a visitor come to your house.
Yeah, I don't know, it's certainly worth looking into. It's an interesting idea to have a plate reader that would just, but, there would be a lot of input to figure out who should and who shouldn't be on the road. And I don't know.
But I like the idea of starting with dead end signs, which cost nothing, and just slowing down the traffic.
This road's a dead end.
And one thing I would say, that taking a left on Route 9 during rush hour is very dangerous. So so if you're on the other side of the gate, and I understand all you're thinking, and I really appreciate what you're trying to solve, but if let's say you're on the other side, and the only way out is to go towards Route 9,
Right.
if you need to go left during rush hour, you take your life in your hands. There.
So anywhere on Route 9. you
Anywhere
take-
on Route 9.
Right,
So
you take
that's,
your left.
so if there's any way to avoid it, either by using technology to get through the gate
Yeah.
or open the gate manually. But anyway, thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. And the sweet potatoes got watered today. Hi,
We
Andy.
needed it. So does
You
everybody.
need no introduction.
Andy Galla. I actually came from the Old Road Society as a representative to just listen.
Thank you.
The idea of the cul-de-sacs and gates, I think, is innovative and extremely interesting. I'm going to give you another idea that I've seen used in the Western Highlands of Scotland.
Please.
You have a lot of roads that are one lane, and some of them have pullovers, so people use them. Some of the roads, it's impossible to do. So they have a traffic light. It wouldn't be a light on 9D or 9. It's at the beginning of the road, and it's timed, and there are signs. Most of the time, it's at 1 o'clock, you can go this way. At 1:15, you can go that way.
Right.
At 1:30, and people that live on the road, they know the timing. It's a
So
simple.
it's continuously red facing one direction.
Yep.
So
And
you would
it's-
have to, because interestingly enough, Tara left today. Right. She goes, why don't we just make it one way?
Yeah, well, the
From
only
Route-
problem
from
is
Route
one
9
way, so it's going to be an inconvenience for residents. I mean,
Right.
we now have the technology that residents could have an app so they know which way is which, but what they've done in the Western Highlands, where there is virtually no cell service, it's really very, very simple. On these roads, there's a sign, it's obviously local knowledge, but we would need a sign that this is a timed light.
Right.
You're going to be sitting here for 15 minutes. And the residents would know that, you know, basically on the hour and on the half hour, you could go, let's say, east, and on the 15 and 45 minutes, you can go the other way. So that's just another thing to think about
I'm
as
going
well.
to use Katie as an example. If Katie's at her house at 1 o'clock and she's got to take her son to baseball practice, does she know which way the road is going at that point?
You would. No, you would.
I'm
It
not
would- it
doubting
would be-
that. I never questioned that,
Right.
Matt.
Everybody would know this, and
They
it-
would know the timing.
yeah, that's why that's the simplest way.
There you go. And another reason to be late.
But, and to me, you know, I think the most difficult thing is to find the engineering, because you are going to need a spot on both sides to probably have 4 to 6 cars to be sitting on the side.
Where do they
But
sit? Right.
But, you know, I think on the 9 side, you have it. I think it's just another solution that has been used,
Certainly a possibility.
you know, and it's time tested.
The construction, like they're doing at the bridge.
I have my own thing with Amazon, so, thank you.
Bridge now. Right?
Yeah, similar to what's
what they
going
got
on
with
at
the
Break.
tunnel right now.
Right now.
Right, you got a red light for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, basically the same thing.
Right, but if all of a sudden, you know, it's 15 minutes, we're gonna.
But what happens if someone's in the middle of the road, comes, you know, in the middle of the in the middle of the South Mountain Pass, they don't know. You say they might know the schedule, but they may not, you know.
They could pass.
It's an
theoretically.
idea, that's all. There's a lot of ideas we gotta float by here. Like I said, we're not making any decisions tonight.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to follow, just
Sure,
a quick follow-up, so just some thoughts, okay?
that's what we're here for.
First of all, do we even know how many people live on South Mountain Pass and the roads off of it? Like, do we actually?
I don't know, we could,
Tara should have a good idea.
Tara
Like,
sent
send an
letters
email
out.
to-
Yeah, okay, great. So I would say like, it would be really important to know exactly how many people, any decisions are made about a gate, who it would be impacting. What about the idea of just like a town sticker that identifies you as a Philipstown resident? Just a possibility.
But I understand that,
Yeah.
but who enforces it? How do we
Yeah,
enforce?
yeah, I agree. I think enforcement is key. And then the other thought is to just, if you do use gates, be selective, right? Like Friday afternoons, I can tell you, starting at 3 o'clock until about 6, it's like a train sometimes, like 20 cars
Yeah, I mean,
each direction.
I even, like, you know, in the middle of the winter when we're plowing snow, I can't imagine the highway department being favorable of getting out and opening and closing these gates. So
Right.
I did, you know, could it be weekends or wide open?
Right.
Doesn't help a commuter, but it would certainly help you on the weekends to go either direction on the road. The idea obviously is to take the pressure off of the road during peak hours. But that's when it's the most inconvenient for commuters who live on the road to have the gates there, so.
Yeah, I have to tell you, that would be a very unsatisfactory outcome. To impact the, like, I have to drive the goat trail every single day for work. That's a deal breaker for me. And like, you know, like that just is completely unsatisfactory. So I feel like we need to maybe be more selective about some of the options that are out there. And I agree, like, you know, getting out of a car or a truck and opening a gate, not great, but there are automated gates, you know, right? Like all over the city, like toll booths, right? It's a key card. You put it on,
Sure.
it opens and closes, and they get hundreds of openings and closures a day. So the technology does exist there. Like another unsatisfactory to me thing is like, oh, we don't know if the technology is going to work. Look, it's the 21st century. We can find something.
The other thought is, we could go the route of these speed humps. They're also going to create an inconvenience. Can you guys thanks. There's also, that's going to create an inconvenience. We're going to have people bottoming their cars out. We're going to get complaints. It's not easy to plow.
I would say that's their problem. Like,
Right. I mean,
like,
it's-
I have no, okay, so there's a speed hump, you trashed your car. Okay, you were going too fast.
We can certainly start there. We can look into, placing speed humps instead of speed bumps that would regulate and slow people down and put the speed limit at 15 miles per hour. So,
Oh, I mean, I think we need to be a little bit like, just thinking more selectively. I think that's also a thing.
again, we're not making any decisions tonight. It's just here for an open conversation. We're looking for ideas. That's what we're here for.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi,
How are you?
I live on the part of the road that's been fixed,
Yes,
and we love it.
thank you.
That's what we want. For us, for the rest of the road, it's unsafe with all this plowing and with all this rainfall, and if the road is safe, I think we can get through, and it can be maintained.
Right, and just to be clear, we're not considering paving the entire road. It's the steeper section from
There are certain parts that
Route
need it.
9 to
And all the
Putnam Bridge.
dust.
Yeah.
And all the rocks and everything, and we live on the part, I live right by the road, and it's paved. All the dust that we used to get coming in,
Right.
and then all the problems with the road, I mean, when the storm was, my driveway got totally
Right. Yeah.
ruined, and my neighbor's driveway and everything. So things like that have to be maintained and fixed, but I'm all for a
you.
safer road.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And my mother too.
Thank you. Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Please, if you have any other suggestions, any ideas, our email supervisor@philipstown.com. Please write to me, let me know. Again, we're not making any decisions tonight. This is all preliminary. The only decision we have made is to have the road, the right-of-way surveyed from Putnam Ridge going down towards Route 9. So you will see surveyors there. We're not sure how they're going to stake or where they're going to stake, but, we are contracting with them to go out and do that. So we have a better understanding of what the town is capable of. A lot of the sections of the road, what is that? This place.
Sound like Halloween.
But we haunted all this? There are sections where, we've looked at different approaches to draining it off, and as Carl said, we've got chutes for the water, but there's areas where there's walls on both sides, and the shoulder is continuously just eroded. So that's where we are right now. But please reach out. Thank you for coming out. We are considering everybody. We know there might be inconveniences. Again, there's no decisions made. We will look into the plate readers. We will look into mechanical gates. We will look into a one-way red light at either end. I don't know where it'll end up, but we will be paving that Route 9 side at some point, but we will be in touch before we do that. So, thank you. Have a good night. Thank you.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second, all in favor? Aye.